Alright, number 1. A chemist needs a solution of tannic acid that is 70% pure. How much distilled water must be added to 5 gallons of acid, which is 90% acid, to obtain the 70% solution? So what the problem actually tells you is a couple things. His final, he wants it to be 70% pure. And then it talks about distilled water. And then it said that he had 5 gallons, which was 90% acidic. So the way that we're going to do this is we're going to set it up. So one part of the problem is it tells us it's distilled water, but it wants to know how much distilled water. Well, we don't know. So X is going to be the amount of distilled water. Now, what we do know about distilled water is it has a 0% acidity factor. Okay? And it also tells us we have 5 gallons, which is 90% acidic. Okay? And then it tells us that our final, it wants to know how much total is the number of gallons plus the original 5 gallons that will yield us 70% acidity. So the way that we're going to set that up is this. Five gallons times 90% plus X gallons times 0% has got to equal 70% times the original 5 gallons plus however many gallons of distilled water we have. So 5 times 0.9 gives us 4.5. And then X times 0, we know that that's just 0. And then we're going to distribute through here. So that's going to have to equal 3.5 plus 0.70x. Combine like terms, because that's just 4.5 right here. So 4.5 minus 3.5. So I've got 1.0 is equal to 0.70x. Divide to get x by itself. So then x is equal to 1.43 gallons. Now, X, if you remember correctly, was the number of gallons of distilled water. But what the question asked for was the total number of gallons overall. So because we started with 5 gallons originally, then we had to have 1.43 gallons. So that gives us a total of 6.43 gallons overall. Let me go back and reread this. Oh, no. All it wants is how much distilled water. So your answer there is 1.43 gallons of distilled water. So that is your answer.